All right, Kyle Mohan Racing, KMR. We're hanging out at the shop, checking out Rotary engines. We got the BRAP right here. There is a Renesis full bridge intake street port exhaust. This is a configuration we've done in the past. It's been a little while. I figured it was a great opportunity to showcase it on the channel. Renesis bridge ports, very cool. Obviously, this would not be a street setup. I would consider this in a race setup or a hot rod setup. And I think if I remember correctly, this particular setup, the customer is going to be putting into a hybrid configuration, which really has the potential to make some amazing horsepower numbers, real strong BRAP, and really unlock the Renesis, get the Renesis out of its hole. But I will throw out there that probably a standalone computer, you're probably not running an OEM ECUs. These configurations where I'm at, California, definitely not smog legal, but hey, we're building hot rods, we're building race cars, and for me, being able to utilize the Renesis block, the Renesis components, and unlock their potential really is part of the dream of keeping the rotary industry going, keep pushing forward. There's always more to do. So with the combination here, you can see we've really added a lot of intake opening timing. That's what the bridge is all about. It's moving that intake opening way earlier. It's not just about the volume. As that rotor comes across, that's your first opening. Those little bridges, that's what's letting the air in nice and early. So you're actually starting that air intake significantly earlier than you would in its traditional form. Now, with the OEM Renesis configuration, I don't know if you get any BRAP, but with a peripheral exhaust, by adding in a Renesis configuration, I know you will get some BRAP. Personally, haven't ran a Bridgeport hybrid setup yet. It's something we've talked about in my build, but via the channel, via everybody I've asked, I think the consensus was they wanted to see a street port hybrid first. So my personal build, we're going street port before we go Bridgeport, but it's just neat to see other people already pushing the envelope, doing full bridge, semi-P, and variations of the hybrid setup, especially since there's the availability of these Renesis RX8 blocks and cars currently, as where the FD3S and earlier FC3S are starting to get more rare. And I think we just all need to be creative, think outside the box, and come up with cool configurations like the hybrid setup. So neat things about just bridge Renesises, have a lot of intake airflow, but the exhaust really is your limiting factor. So although we have increased exhaust flow in this configuration, you do have limitations. I think one of the reasons you don't see anybody bridge porting the exhaust, which, I mean, theoretically would be possible if there wasn't this water jacket right here. And you know, maybe someday we'll see an aftermarket version of this template, or somebody figure out a way to plug this and still keep the block cool enough as to where you could run a bridge configuration. But again, one of the limiting factors to the OEM RX8 and Renesis in general is exhaust port flow, stagnation of heat buildup. Really, the intake has always had a lot of volume, and so adding in that hybrid, allowing that extra flow out of a GSLSE housing, I think really could do something for configurations like this. But either way, template available soon, whether you're going traditional Renesis or you're going hybrid. I think it's just a great thing to add. I would probably go one-piece apex seal most of the time with full bridges. It's just a personal choice. It doesn't mean you can't go two-piece or other configuration, but me, from my stance, who I was taught by, they just always recommended you go one-piece when you go full bridge. And so that's kind of where I say it. If anybody's got comments on that below, I'd love to hear it. If anybody's running a full bridge with a two-piece, how's that going for you? I've seen it done. Theoretically, I didn't like it. But it doesn't stop people from doing it. Again, my take on it is, like a configuration like this, probably one-piece apex seal, something aftermarket. I like 2 millimeters. It's less weight in general, but this isn't an Apex Seal Talk video. This is Renesis Talk. Other things I'd probably recommend on this motor, regardless of what you're doing, would be balancing, narrowing the rotors, so side cutting, because obviously it's going to be high RPM because this is a Bridgeport configuration. So to utilize the power band that this porting configuration is going to have, you're probably going to need to bring that RPM up, again utilizing standalone ECU, aftermarket tuning, lightning rotors, side cutting rotors, balancing. All of that is going to allow even the Renesis block, which already has a high RPM limit for a factory, to even go higher. I would say there's no reason a Renesis block in a hybrid configuration, naturally aspirated or boosted, couldn't be in the 9.5 to 10,000 RPM range. And realistically, if you're running a bridge or a full bridge like this, there's a good chance that's where a lot of your power is going to be, as long as you're not up against the OEM issue of lack of exhaust flow. And again, that's where that GSLSE housing comes in. But I think, you know, I've got some ideas on working this area out. I think there's a lot of builders around the world that probably have similar thoughts as to one of the biggest holdbacks to the Renesis block is the lack of ability to really increase volume. You've got water below this surface and you've got water below this surface, so we just can't push this port in the dimensional areas that we can our intake ports. So just some thoughts. KMR Brap Talk. I really appreciate everybody who follows the channel, has me do work for them. It's keeping it all alive. We've got more merch coming up soon. I've got some t-shirts now. We've got some decals of our cars that we run in Formula Drift. And if anybody'd like to see anything on the channel, you know, see any new products from us, definitely let us know. We're gonna brap on out of here. I got some more work to do, but full bridge template for the Renesis available soon. And we've also got the automatic 4-port Renesis template coming out very soon. That's been in the works for like a year, but we don't release them until we're happy with them. Sometimes they take more development time than we believe they are. So that's what it's about. Brap, KMR. Thanks for watching. I'm out.